Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Q&A. My name is Clément Young and I'm your host. And today I'm going to be answering this question. How do I know when it's time to leave my relationship? And I'm referring to relationship problems. I'm referring to someone's unhappiness, someone's being mistreated. When is it time to leave? How do you know? It's very difficult at times to know, especially if you've invested a lot of time in that relationship, especially if you have a very integrated life with your partner. But it can also be difficult with very short relationships where you want them to work out and you're very much invested in the success of it and you don't want to believe that it's over, right? It's different for everyone. We all have very unique traits, character traits. We have different thresholds for patience, different thresholds for pain. So it's a case-by-case basis. But I will say this, when you know it's time to go, it's time to go. It might take a while for you to get there, but you will know when it happens. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my ex-girlfriend. We were in a relationship for 1.5 years. It wasn't a long relationship, but I really wanted it to work. And the reason why is because we had the most amazing fun together. We were so connected when it came to humor, when it came to just enjoying life. We had the best sex. It was thrilling and it was kind of drawing you in very emotionally too, because sex is commonly referred to when you're talking to someone who's in a toxic relationship and asking them, why do you put up with this and that from your partner? Or why are things this way when you could have someone else, or you could be in another, you could be single? And they're like, sometimes they say, well, it's the sex, it's the connection, it's that visceral, physical, animalistic connection. It's so powerful. So what happened to me was I got pulled in that way, and I'm an addictive personality by nature. And I've had a variety of addictions in my life that I've had to overcome through introspection and through being honest with myself and through having the right people around me at the right times. So being drawn into a relationship that's toxic and wanting it to work regardless, it must mean that there's a very powerful need. There's a need that's being met in a very powerful way. I want to just talk to you about how we work as individuals, because this can be one of the major factors in whether or not you're able to recognize if a relationship is actually healthy or not for you. If there's things going on within you that are programmed from past events, past experiences, maybe from childhood, there's patterns of behavior that we get when we're, let's say, abused or neglected, or we're unsure about the reasons why things happen. So we make up stories in our brain. And that's the programming that happens that dictates what's going to be our mode of operation for the foreseeable future. And a lot of us grow up with these patterns of behavior and they don't ever get addressed. So we end up making certain decisions and inviting certain types of people into our lives and making the same mistakes over and over and over again because we never address the root cause. If you're having trouble figuring out whether someone's healthy for you or not, I guarantee you need to do some work on yourself, because you're probably not confident. You're probably not self-aware as much as you'd like to be. You probably don't know what you want, and you don't have a clear direction because of it. So you're kind of floating at sea, which is what happened to me. I was floating at sea. I was neglecting my responsibilities. She was neglecting her responsibilities. We were trying to make things work out because we would always be arguing. We would always be at each other's throats. But the sex was great, but the fun times were always there. The makeup was amazing. The rebound was just crazy. It was like a drug. So we were kind of hurting ourselves, but then we were healing ourselves. And it felt great to do that because you knew the next hit was coming after the next argument, right? It's really messed up how it works. And I had to work on myself literally for over a year. No relationships. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not saying that you need to do this, But it's a very fast way to get into a position where you're confident and you've rebuilt your own self-esteem and you've recognized what it is that you really want in a partner and in your life and who you want to be as a person. And therefore, you know the kind of direction you want to go in. And now you're focusing on all the right kind of people and you're recognizing all the wrong kind of people so that you don't get into the wrong relationship. Like, for example, now, because I did that work, I know I'm not going to make, or I'm very unlikely. You can never say never, right? I mean, no one's perfect, but I know that I'm very unlikely to make a decision like that to get into a relationship with someone that's clearly, in my eyes right now, very wrong for me, and I'm wrong for them. So it's not just, I'm not saying that my ex is like, you know, the reason why it didn't work out. I'm saying that some people are in relationships that they have no business being in, because the people are just not compatible. Your values don't align, your principles aren't aligned. You don't want to go in the same direction, right? You want to do completely different things, act in completely different ways. But maybe the sex is great, maybe the companionship is great. Maybe you're just scared of being alone. Maybe the convenience is perfect. Maybe there's financial things that you appreciate. Maybe you have children together now, so it's a lot more difficult. I'm just saying there's a lot of reasons why you might want to hang around when in reality the best choice is to move on. I mean, there's a bunch of other things I could say to try to help you understand how to recognize when it's the wrong time, but I think these questions, they indicate a lack of self-awareness, confidence, clarity, direction. And that's okay, that's fine. I'm not putting you down for that. We all have our journey. I had my journey. I'm 38 years old. It took me a long time to become comfortable with who I am, and I'm still working on that. I'm still working on these things, and I'm out here sharing this with you because I know how powerful and important it is to actually get it. Do you know what I mean? It's so important to get that it's our individual responsibility to love ourselves first before we get into a relationship with someone else, because we don't want to bring all of our issues and baggage with us into someone else's life. And we want to be able to make the right decisions and pick the best partners so that we can have the kind of fulfilling lives that we're really looking for. So I hope that helps you. If you have any questions or any comments, leave them here, get in touch with us, send me a DM. I'm more than happy to talk to you about this kind of thing. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you tune in for the next one. Take care.